he's got to be in the running for Coach of the Year. Here you go. I'll just read some headlines here. Giving Nick Sirianni credit for the Eagles' historic winning streak. There's one. There's the other one. Week 15 NFL takeaways. How Nick Sirianni guided Eagles through a bumpy week. And here's the coup de grace. Okay, I'll admit it. I was wrong about Nick Sirianni. All these feed right into Bill Colarulo.
Yes, they do. Well, Mike, when you look at the Coach of the Year award, right, they usually give it to a coach that's overcome some sort of adversity, whether it's injuries, like last year the Cleveland Browns had all those injuries at quarterback, or it's a team that comes in and overperforms based off of expectations in the preseason. I mean, what more adversity can a coach face than what Nick Sirianni faced all offseason leading into this year? I mean, people wanted him fired in the offseason. People were asking, what does this guy even do? Then they start the season 2-2. People were calling for his job at the bye. Then they come out of the bye, and he has that whole issue with the Cleveland Browns and jawing at the Philadelphia fans. That became national news. Then they have all those bad decisions against the Jaguars. That became national news. Now they have this past week where AJ and Jalen could be fighting and all that. That becomes national news. And all Nick Sirianni has done in the middle of all of that adversity is set a franchise record with 10 straight wins, a 12-2 football team that we're now saying is Super Bowl or bust. How is he not in the discussion for Coach of the Year? It's unbelievable.
Well, here's the way I used to vote for Coach. I used to vote in these things, right? So here's what I would look at. What were the expectations of the team, and did they overachieve, and how did they overachieve? So let me just go down to candidates that are ahead of him. Kevin O'Connell, to me, is the biggest challenge to Nick Sirianni. Minnesota, what were their expectations? So nobody really knew. So they have way overachieved. So I definitely would consider him. Campbell, well, everybody knew they were going to be good. And the fact is they're falling apart now. So that took a little of the starch away from his candidacy. Tomlin, all right, very consistent coach. But that team's not going to win any big prize. So what was so special about his coaching job? Sean Payton, stop. And Jim Harbaugh, they're a 6-loss team. All right, so to me, the only competition for the guy is O'Connell.
And I could understand the argument for O'Connell, especially with them losing. Was it J.J. McCarthy in the preseason, and then they turned things over to Sam Darnold. Everyone's thinking, Sam Darnold, this team's going nowhere, and they're 12-2. And I do hate to make the argument of look at who they've played, but you kind of have to do that with the Minnesota Vikings because they're on a 6-game winning streak, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7-game winning streak. Listen to who they've beaten in their 7-game winning streak, Mike. The Colts, the Jags, the Titans, the Bears, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Bears.
Yeah, you have to look at that. I agree. But nobody thought Minnesota would even be in the picture. Let's be fair about it. So that's a big strength for him. Yeah. But I really think it's a two-horse race.
Did you mention Sean Payton? Because I could see Sean Payton.
I said Sean Payton.
Yeah, what he's done with Denver.
Stop. Sean Payton. What has he done with Denver?
Well, he's got the rookie Bo Nix.
What has he done, really?
They're probably going to make the playoffs, aren't they?
Maybe not. It's not that special what he's done.
Yeah, he's got Denver at 9-5. The other argument that people have been making is what Dan Quinn's doing in Washington. They're 9-5. I just think, how do you not look at Sirianni and everything that this team's overcome, and for them to be sitting here at 12-2? Mike, there is a very real possibility that the Eagles could go 15-2. That's got to be a franchise record, right? 15 wins. I don't think they've ever had 15 wins in a season before. They had 14.
All right. But we got it. But the bigger issue now is how do fans feel? Let's get to the text board, all right? Let me get the text on expectation for the Eagles now and changing expectations, right? Because this is what it's all about right now.
Yes, Leaf from Southwest. I texted a week or two ago, and I can see it from November 26th. He texted us, devastated is a strong word. But now, seeing what this defense has become, I would be totally devastated. I truly see us losing to no one. Go Birds.
Well, there you go. And again, I take it back to 2002. That was devastating. They lost that NFC title game at home. Devastating, right? One of the top disappointments of all time.
Yeah.
Now that this team has set up this kind of expectation, how could it not be similar to 2002?
Man, 2002 was bad, dude. And it was poetic. You're going last game at Veterans Stadium.
Yes.
Tampa Bay's never won in cold weather. All that.
Now, obviously, this subplot doesn't have that. But what it has is they're the best team in the league. I'm looking at power rankings. Number one, they're ahead of the Buffalo Bills. You're telling me that if they did not get to the Super Bowl, that would be devastating?
And now the odds are starting to reflect that as well, because yesterday I said that the Lions were still ahead of them in the Super Bowl odds. Not anymore, Mike. You got, according to FanDuel, the Buffalo Bills plus 400, the Philadelphia Eagles plus 480, the Detroit Lions plus 500. Now, make this make sense for me. The Eagles have better odds to win the Super Bowl, but the Lions have better odds to get to the Super Bowl. How does that make sense?
It doesn't make a bit of sense. It really
for the
does.
top seed.
They're not, I guess, at this particular. You got to take into consideration what they are right now. They're falling apart. So maybe that's not reflecting that, and we are because we're doing sports talk radio. But there's no way anybody can tell me the Eagles aren't the best team in the NFC right now. In fact, the people who never even acknowledged that are acknowledging it. Acho went crazy yesterday saying they're the best team.
Yeah, a lot of people are on board.
Acho.
A lot. God bless you. A lot of people are on board with this team being the best team. It's hard to disagree. Like I said this yesterday. They don't have a weakness. Look at this Eagles team right now, and let's try to find a weakness. Where is it?
It's not. They don't have one right now, and that's the whole thing. They are the whole. The sum of the parts has formed the whole. Nobody else has that whole, and I mean WHOLE. All right. One more text on the Coach of the Year, Ray. Nick Sirianni, what are they saying?
All right, D from Downingtown checking in on both the expectations of the Coach of the Year. As of this day and time right now, I do believe the Eagles need to make the Super Bowl Sunday at 5 p.m. this week. After each week, I may change my opinion. It'll look different every week. But saying that Nick Sirianni, I say that Nick Sirianni should be a top 5 candidate for Coach of the Year, no questions asked.
All right, here's the thing, and we'll go to a break, and on the other side, we're going to take some calls here. If they lose to the Commanders, maybe that throws a little bit of a wrench into it.
Well, now you're a 2 seed, but you still are going to win the NFC East.
Yeah, so if they lose to the Commanders, can we still consider them the best team? I don't know. They are good enough now where they should not lose to the Commanders. All right, 610-632-0975. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. If you want more from the Mike Missanelli Show, somewhere on this screen, there is somewhere where you can hit the playlist. Keep interacting with us.